Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester. Panhandle Outdoors, your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. I'm so glad you're here this morning. Boy, we have a great show lined up. But first, our weather brought to us by Haney Technical Center at the corner of Baldwin and Highway 77. It's going to be back up in the 80s today. Yesterday was a nice little cool snap, and it just felt really good yesterday. But 82 is high, and a 68 is going to be low. Water temperature is around 78 degrees. Let's take a look at the river readings. A lot of y'all been asking about the rivers, and it is high. The Apalachicola Bluntstown this morning is reading at 18.3, and it's going to stay around 18 all the way through into the weekend. It may start dropping off a little bit on Saturday, but we've got more rain coming, so it's just going to be a high water all over the river system. Same way to Choctawhatchee. You see it's still rising this morning. Choctawhatchee is reading a 13 foot. And it's probably going to peak out Thursday night. Again, that rain will get Thursday. Tomorrow might change that a little bit, so we'll know more tomorrow. But it's just going to be high. So, we're talking about high water on the river, and that's just one of the big things, just being careful of not going too fast. All that debris and all floating, from those logs and all get out in the middle of the river. A lot of times you just don't see them. So that's always the danger of high water. And it's really swift if you fall in it. You want to swim downriver. Don't try to fight the current. Hopefully none of y'all fall in it. But let's take a look at a tide chart brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn Funeral Home and Cemetery. Looking there on your screen, it's 22nd of April. Good strong tides. We have a high tide at 11:47 this morning and a low tide at 11:52 tonight. So again, if you like to fish incoming tide, you can fish it in the morning, outgoing tide in the afternoon. Okay, our marine forecast south-southwest. It's changed back around about 10 to 15, so it's going to be blowing. All right, we'll take a break and come back with our special guest. Welcome back and welcome to our special guest this morning, Bubba Hart.
Good morning.
Good morning, Bubba.
Thank you for having me.
We're glad to have you. We go way back. Bubba was an old Mosley boy way back in the 80s, and his two sisters went through school and those folks, and Hart's Marine. All know where Hart's Marine is, and I want to thank them. They're coming on as one of our new sponsors on the show.
We're glad to be here.
And you get to watch the show a little bit.
Yes, sir. Yes, we try to watch it every morning. If we don't, we try to tape it and watch it. But we've really enjoyed watching you through the years, and a lot of great information.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Well, look, let's talk about. I know when y'all were coming through school, y'all little and all, your dad had Badcock Furniture.
Yes,
everybody was shopping at Badcock. So tell us a little bit about your background, how y'all ended up in the boat business.
Okay. All right. Well, I've been a Panama City resident pretty much all of my life since the early 70s, and my dad and my mom they had the Badcock Furniture stores here in town, and then of course when I graduated from high school, I was looking for something to do, and we actually ended up in the furniture business as well. And back about 2003, Dad, he was getting kind of ready to semi-retire, but he still wanted something to do, and we got together and we bought out Gibbs Marine, which was over in Lynn Haven, and then through the years changed the name to Hart's Marine. But it's been a good run. We've been blessed.
Y'all have a great location up there on Highway 231.
Yep.
And you carry the Key West.
Yes, sir. We got the Key West line of fiberglass boats, and then we've got the G3 line of aluminum boats.
And that's two good quality boats.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We've been fortunate to get both of those lines, and then we've got Yamaha outboards, which is big.
Now, I'm not just saying that those are good boats, because I fished out of those Key West boats and I fished out of those G3 boats. In fact, I had two nephews have those G3 boats, one in Bristol and one in Bluntstown, and they're good boats. So. That's some really good quality stuff.
Yes, sir. And we the thing with the Key West, not because we sell them, but we also use them, and we've put them through their paces. I can tell you, they're tough boats.
Well, speaking of using them, I know y'all are an outdoor family. I know your dad used to love to hunt. Is he still hunting?
Yes, sir. He's still. Matter of fact, they're building a little cabin. They got a place up in Georgia. And he's tied up trying to do that right now.
Well, that's important stuff.
Oh yeah.
I guess he leaves the store with you. I guess.
Yes, sir. He's been out since about 2006, 2007, but he still comes around and checks on us, make sure we're doing right.
Making sure you're doing it right. And you do a lot of fishing yourself.
Yes,
as much as you can.
As much as I can. We try to fish or be on the water just about every weekend. So. not only do we sell the product, we use it and just stay busy in it.
I had a couple of pictures. You sent me some pictures last night. Let's look at a couple of these pictures. Tell us about this one right here.
That's my son. That's Chase. That was his first Spanish
Okay.
last spring. And I almost got in a little trouble on that one. I had a duck hunting boat, and that's really all I had that I could fish out of at the time. And so me and his mom and he went out and caught that Spanish. So you can imagine her fishing out of that little John boat.
I mean, he was excited though, wasn't he?
Oh yeah, he was excited. He is all about being in the outdoors and fishing and just being with us. That's actually us up on the Chipola River, and we took a day and went out and just caught a few brim and a few crappie and just spent a good day together.
And that's one of those G3 boats, right?
Yes, sir. That's a G3 1652 with a 40 on it, and
That's a
great little all around
Yeah,
fishing
is.
and hunting boat. Yes.
Sure is. Okay, here's some of y'all get them by the truckloads up there, don't you?
Yes, sir. We get them 5 at a time most of the time. That's a load of Key West that came in just recently, and luckily it's been a good spring. We're waiting on Key West right now.
Oh, that's a good problem to have, waiting on them. Now, what size is this one?
This is a 219. It's a 21-foot Key West. Great package. We've actually got one in stock at the dealership, and you ought to come by and check it out. Key West has really up their game as far as the fit and the finish and the look of the boats.
It really looks nice. I've seen them. I've had several of my friends have Key West boats. I have this since I've been doing the show. I'm getting invited fishing a lot more than I used to,
Yeah.
and I really enjoy that. They're those Key West boats. They're just solid boats, and they're stable and all. They're high side.
Very stable. They're foam filled all the way up to the floor level, so they won't sink. They positive flotation boats, so if you was to knock a hole in them, they're gonna float upright and level.
Yeah.
I mean, they still build them like they used to build them.
Well, where do they build those?
They're in Ridgeville, South Carolina.
Okay.
Is where they're built at. And they've actually got 2 plants, one in Somerville and one in Ridgeville, that build just a good quality boat, well branded boat that holds its values.
Cool. All right, we're going to take a break and come right back with Bubba Hart. All right, welcome back. Here, Bubba Hart from Harsh Marine, a new advertiser, new sponsor on Panhandle Outdoors, and we're so glad to have them. And this is so typical of our sponsor, just hometown folks in business themselves, and they love the outdoors, and they really do a good job with the business. So we're just welcome aboard, and we're just glad to have y'all.
I appreciate it. Glad to be here.
Now, people always want to know, what's your favorite kind of fishing now? Again, what do you enjoy doing?
I live to go offshore. I love to troll. We do bottom fish, we do snapper fish and grouper fish, and enjoy doing that. But I come from a family that really enjoyed hunting growing up, and to me that's kind of like hunting on the water, So that's what we.
So trolling for anything in particular, or just?
We love to troll for wahoo and dolphin and that kind of thing. We actually were able to hook into a white marlin last year, which was exciting for us. But really just love to get out there and just see what's there, and then change your game plan up to fish for whatever comes up.
Now, we were talking in between the break just a minute ago about you've already promised me a trip. Now, this is Graham Lovett. Graham, the Lovett family, they're cousins of the Chester family. And so we don't claim each other too much, but you know Graham Lovett.
I know why.
Yeah. But we've talked about 5 years now about going to the rigs, and because he's got a big old boat, about going to the rigs and going fishing and all. But you say you do that.
Yeah. Actually, Graham and I have fished a couple of times, and we all need to get together and get Graham, Mr. Lovett, and Mr. Aaron Lovett, and you and all get together and make a trip.
I told Graham, I said, that's one trip I've never taken. I've heard guys doing it, and a lot of people go out there and then fish the rigs, but y'all run from here?
Yeah, it's generally a 2.5 day trip. We'll leave on, Friday night after work, and we'll run all night, and you'll end up pulling up to the first rig somewhere right before daylight, and then you just have to take shifts and fish in shifts and fish all day Saturday. and then all day Saturday or all night Saturday night, and then come home early Sunday morning. So it's an Iron Man trip, but it's a lot of fun.
That sounds like my kind of trip. We're going to do that. I don't know if I'll take a waterproof camera.
Oh yeah, we'll definitely take some video and some pictures.
What size boat do you run out there?
I'm running a 30-foot older Grady White right now.
So that to get out there.
That allows you to get out there, and you can actually get out of the elements a little bit in that boat.
Yeah.
But yeah, we enjoy it. We do it several times a year. So
that's fun. Now we just saw a picture of you brim fishing, and you know that's a whole gamut from brim fishing to going to the rigs. I mean, and that's what we can do in Florida Panhandle.
Yes,
that kind of stuff.
That's what I enjoy doing all of it, and my family does. If I have a weak spot, it's probably the bay fishing, but I'm gonna get better at that.
Well, you know, the boats y'all have over there are ideal for a little bit of all of it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We can handle anything from, you know, just a 10-foot John boat all the way up to a 24-foot Key West. So we've got a little bit of everything.
What are some of your most popular sales?
Right now, the 21 Key West and the 23 Key West are definitely our most popular boats. G3's got a new 20-foot bay boat out that it's based on a bass boat hull, so it's a hot seller right now.
Okay. All right, let's look at a couple more pictures. Let's look at. Tell us about this one right here. What is?
This is actually my good friend Todd Neves.
Yeah.
He just bought this boat last year, and it is probably the most fitted out 23-foot Key West out there.
Wow.
And we happened to see him at a restaurant. They were leaving in the boat, so my wife snapped this picture.
Oh, cool. That's all bells and whistles on it.
Oh, that has it all.
Okay.
This was our last trip last year. We actually went out about 80 miles and got on. This is actually when we hooked into the Marlin, and ended up, the big dolphin he's probably 30 pounds or so, and we ended up catching 15 dolphin that day.
Oh, cool.
Cool. That's my lead mechanic, Ben Harris's daughter, Avery.
Okay, and Ben's been with you a while.
Ben's been with me pushing 10 years now. And, I think he's probably one of the best, if not the best, mechanic in this area.
He loves it too, don't he?
He loves it.
He loves it.
He loves it as good as I do.
Yeah, I know it. Okay, now take this picture here. Tell us about this.
This is actually me and Chase. We spent the night out at Crooked Island last year, and we went shark fishing. And
shark.
He's letting everybody know that we actually did catch some shark that night.
Okay.
This was last Memorial Day tournament. We actually held for a little while with a tuna we caught out at the rigs at the Mobile Big Game Club, and we got bumped there at the end.
And you know, you fishing, when you go to Mobile and fish, you're fishing against some guys that get the fish.
Yes, we were actually, one of the boats in that tournament last year was Smokey and the Bandits, Burt Reynolds' boat. It was an 80-foot Viking.
Yeah.
And a beautiful boat, solid black, and the name of it was the Bandit. So it's pretty cool.
Okay, a couple more pictures here. Let's tell us about, they bring them in.
It's a load of G3s that they were bringing them in 2 at the time.
Okay.
That week. So
now, where are the G3s made?
They're made in Lebanon, Missouri.
Okay.
That's where they're built at.
All
right. That's just north of Springfield.
Now, what is this right here?
This is one of the rigs that we fished last year. It was a new rig out there. It's called a number 7 rig. It's completely round. It's kind of a weird rig to look at, and that's another one. I'm not sure.
That's just, do y'all know which rigs to? I mean, obviously y'all got some favorite rigs out there.
I think that little white boat behind, right by the rig, if I remember right, that was actually Graham's dad's boat.
No kidding.
They were out there with us that time.
Now that would be a fun trip. We're going to put that on the calendar.
Let's definitely do that.
And,
we'll make it happen.
That's going to be a lot of fun. Let's go ahead and take our final break, and we'll be right back with Bubba. Welcome back. Glad you're with us this morning. Sitting here with Bubba Hart from Harsh Marine, a new sponsor for Panhandle Outdoors, and we're just tickled to have them aboard, and we're going to have some great fishing trips with them too, and talk about some. And they have such good quality boats and great service, and I've known the family. We've known them for a long, long time, and we're just glad to have them aboard. So right now, let's take a look at our fishing game forecast for today, brought to us by Mark Coward of Edgewater Beach Realty. Mark's number is 832-6000. and we're looking at a time this morning, 3:57 and 5:57. That was wrapping up. But this afternoon, tell the boss you want to get off early because you can go fishing from 4:30 to 6:30 and catch a fish, okay? Providing everything else falls into place. You know, talking
That
about
gives us time to get out there after work. So
yeah. What time y'all? What's your hours?
8 to 5 Monday through Friday, and 8 to 2 on Saturday, and we're closed on Sunday.
Good deal. And that Saturday afternoon is important, though, isn't it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You know, speaking of times, you do all kind of fishing, freshwater and saltwater. Everybody I've talked to had the same answer. You believe there's certain periods of time where those fish just turn it on?
Oh yes, sir, absolutely. I think the moons affect them. I think the tides affect them. I think fronts affect them. You know, you know, I think times of year affect them as well.
Yeah, that's for sure. Okay, again, those G3 boats. Let's talk about the G3. We talked about the Key West. The G3 boats. They're real. I'm seeing them all over the place now. They're real popular. Why do you attribute all the popularity to?
Well, one of the biggest things with the G3 line is they're owned by Yamaha. So you know what that does for the consumers. It gives the consumer peace of mind. I mean, if you have an issue with that boat, you know, not only do you have Harts Marine standing behind that boat trying to make it right for you, you have Yamaha, which is one of the biggest corporations out there, you know, standing behind it. So, and they just build a good product. I mean, what Yamaha builds into their engines, they build into their boats.
Yeah, and I tell you what I'm seeing with that boat. I saw this when it first came out. I was thinking about it then. I'm starting to see it now because, like I say, my nephew, he'll come down from Bluntstown and he'll fish down in St. Joe Bay, and then he'll fish the river. So it has such versatility right there.
Yes.
And you're starting to see my point being, you're going to start seeing more of those boats on the flats and all because they're so stable and everything and shallow draft.
Well, and the thing about it is, not only are they so versatile, and they are, but them being aluminum, they're a little less expensive to build. You don't have to have as much horsepower to push that boat, so the whole package is less expensive. And so, in being lighter and less expensive, you can pull them with a smaller vehicle. I mean, you don't have to have a half-ton
and that's what he said.
To pull it. So.
I'm talking about Greg Jordan, head football coach at Bluntstown. We talked about it. Because he wanted bait fishing several years back. We were talking about the pros and cons of all of them. And really, the expense of some of those flats boats were just you couldn't afford it. And so he ended up getting that. He's so tickled with it.
Yeah, we actually can get a 20-foot bay G3 with a 115 into the mid-20s, which is very affordable for a bay boat. And if you take that same bay boat, 20-foot bay boat, in a glass boat with the engine and all, you're going to be pushing $40,000.
It's crazy.
The expense difference is huge in those boats.
And again, you can duck hunt at them too.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I can.
Don't you like duck hunt?
I love to duck hunt. I can duck hunt. I can't duck kill very much. But
well, listen, we've had 2 good seasons of duck hunting. This year wasn't good as last year, but it's been phenomenal.
Yeah, we mostly bay hunt is where we hunt around the North Shore area and the Breakfast Point area, and we actually had some good shoots last year and this year as well. Like I say, I shoot at them. I don't know that I can hit many of them.
So you got a good set of decoys and all?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We actually hunt with Graham.
Okay.
And we, in between both of us, we have a little over 100 decoys, I think. So
that's good.
You've got to have the bay is such a big area. You got to really have a showing for the ducks to get them to try to light on your decoys.
Yeah, you do. And I've told stories back in the day when we used to go out there. We just throw them out and we build a little stick blind and get out of the boat and wade out there. We just had the most fun. A guy named David Barnes and I did that way back in maybe late 60s, early 70s. And there was no one else doing that.
Oh, yeah.
And we didn't realize at the time it was against the law to rally them. So we would just ride around, not on purpose. We'd ride around looking for ducks, and they'd fly up and then fly over the other guy in the decoys. And then somebody said, well, we didn't know what we were doing.
Well, don't tell anybody about
Well, I mean, it really, they might have probably went against the law back then, but we wasn't doing it intentionally. We're just riding around looking for ducks. But it was so much fun. But anyway, get back. That boat right there, you can duck hunt on one weekend. The next weekend you can take it to the river. Next weekend you can take it to the bay.
Yes, sir.
And
yes,
fish.
sir. I mean, the boat that we duck hunt out of, I mean, we've Spanish fished out of. We had pictures of that. We've carried it to the river and fished out of it. Of course, duck hunted out of it. And we scallop out of it.
Well, I was about to say that.
So
This summer, I promise you, down in St. Joe Bay, I'm going to have a camera with me. I promise you, I'm going to take some pictures of somebody scalloping out of that boat.
Yeah.
Can you put a ladder in the back of it? Is there a way for the ladder to get?
We actually have some ladders we've rigged up on them, but
okay.
The nice thing about the little John boats is they're such a shallow gunnel, a short side on the boat. You can just flip right over into the boat. So.
But as you get older, like me and Mr. Lovett and all, we got to have a ladder. So y'all enjoy scalloping too?
Oh yeah. Matter of fact, Chase, my son, he picked his first scallop up last year at 4 years old. So,
well, he's hooked.
He loves it. Anything hunting, fishing, he loves to do.
He's hooked. Okay. Now, one quick question people always asking about this: when people go and buy a new boat, how do y'all arrange the financing and all? Do y'all have different?
We're all set up in house.
Okay.
We actually have a company called RDS that they're basically kind of like a lending tree.
Mm-hmm.
They run your credit one time and then shop it out to several banks and get you the best deal that they can get you. And they've been working real well for us. I mean, we've seen it as low as $3.99.
Wow.
So on recreational finance, that's pretty good.
Yeah. So it's a good time of year to buy a boat.
It's always a good time to buy a boat.
We always talk about that and all. And right there on 231, right there north of in the Highland Park area, north of the Highland Park.
Yes, sir. 2 miles north of the Panama City Mall. On the left, if you're headed to Dothan, you can't miss us. We've got boats sitting everywhere.
We came by there Sunday morning. We left church and I rode by there and pulled in that little. Is it Selma? What's that little side?
Yes, sir. Wakulla Street.
Wakulla.
Yes.
And
yes.
looking at some of them, I said, I like that one. I like that one. I feel like a little boy in Kansas. That's some good-looking boats.
We need to get you up there.
I know it. I know it. We got to wrap it. Bubba, thank you so much.
Thank you, Coach. I appreciate you having me.
All right. Y'all run by and see Bubba and the folks up there. I know some of the guys, a couple of guys work up there. Who are some of them?
Actually, we got a great crew. We got Ben and Scott and Tad in the back, and we've got Amy and Chad up front, and then Shannon's on the sales floors with me. So we got a great crew.
Good deal.
And Candace, my wife.
You don't forget her. Hey, have a great day. Do something good for someone else, and God bless.
Thanks for joining us for Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester. Panhandle Outdoors features hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.